Well, hello, Budget Dolls. I'm Margot, and welcome to Budget Dolls headquarters. I've got some things on my mind to talk to you about today, and I'm feeling a little, I'm not sure of the right word, sentimental maybe. And the reason I'm feeling sentimental is because I need to talk about my storage unit, okay? And I need some friends to talk about the storage unit with.
Sir, you only giving me a 2-day credit?
So, most people don't just talk about their storage unit on the budgeting channel, but in this community, we talk about all things money and how it affects us personally. So, my channel is about how my money or the things around me dealing with money affects me personally. So I would like to start by saying when I moved to this state, it was 10 years ago. I've been in this state a good 10 years. And I moved from a home and I sold my home. It was a small rancher and I had a lot of stuff. So to move into an apartment was like, what are you gonna do with your stuff? So my stuff ended up with me in the apartments I was living in because they had, in several of the buildings, they had storage units that you could use. And it would cost you about $50 a month added to your rent. And that was ideal because it was on site. It was up one flight of stairs. It was rather small, but that was all I needed. So I had my things moved there. So that was $50 a month, and I lived in that apartment for 6 years, 5 or 6 years. So then I got ready to move, and I wanted to move to a bigger apartment in a different area, and I had to find a unit because this apartment complex did not have that available where they had storage units available. They didn't have it. So I found a unit for about $83 a month. And I thought, okay, $83, good, I can handle it. I can deal with it. So I had someone, it took 2 men to get all of that stuff out of that storage unit, bring it down the flight of stairs. And they were garden apartments, so it was basically outside, and get it into the U-Haul, which pretty much was a separate move from everything in my apartment. So that happened. So I got it moved. And they were charging me $83 a month for about a year. And then it jumped from $83 to $138 a month. So, I mean, there's more to this storage unit than how much it costs. It's the idea that I am dragging things around with me from place to place. And they aren't really of any value because when you go back to it, it's just stuff. And there were things that happened to me along the way that made me want to hold on to those things. And it isn't, I guess you could call it my small hoard. But my apartment is not cluttered with those things. It's just in there. But after you carry things around with you for so long, it becomes part of you. And it is almost like a living thing now. It's living, it's breathing, it's there. I'm paying for it to be there. And I honestly have to tell you, there really isn't anything of value in there. So what do we do with these things? There are some sentimental things in there, But if we talk about, say for instance, because I know that many people have storage units that, their family beloved items are in. But if we talk about that, let's address that, okay? So my mother died when I was very young. She did. And the memories that I have of my mother are held here and here. And I can see her every day. They aren't in that storage unit. So remember, this is me talking to me, okay? By way of you. But I have to go back to the phrase, it no longer holds its value, because what is in there isn't anything of value, financially, money-wise. I couldn't get a bunch of money off of anything in there. It would be more of a hassle to try to sell it than to just get rid of it. So the sentimental things that are in there are probably things that I have from when I was raising my son, when he was little. Okay, so there are a few things that I can keep. So what I was doing was I had this great idea to, one day I had some energy, to go over there and get like as many boxes as I could fit in my Jeep and bring them home. So it was about 10 boxes, and I brought them home, and I decided go through every box, get rid of what you don't want, and what you do want, keep, and see how much you're keeping. And I did that, and it was one box. Of those 10 boxes, one box was left of what I really wanted to keep. One box. So what I did was I took all the rest of it to the Salvation Army, which was this close to my apartment. They had a building over there, and they had a truck outside of the building where a gentleman would be on the truck and you can give him anything, boxes, bags of whatever. And he would put it on the truck, and later on the Salvation Army would sort through it and then put it up for sale. I've never even been inside of the Salvation Army. I just utilized that truck because it's always there and it's close to my home. Well, guess what? Salvation Army closed down. I don't know what they did. They merged with the other building across town. I'm not sure what happened. No word. I just went over there one day. The truck was gone and the building was empty. So that was an excuse for me not to go back to the storage unit and take another load out. I just didn't do anything. But we are talking about year 10, at least, let's say year 8 to 9, carrying those things around with me and paying every month for it. And this is how much it has cost me so far. This right here is going to be how much it has cost me so far. And like I said, it's a dollar amount that I can manage every month, but why should I? Imagine how much money I would have in my money market account or in my high yield savings account if I didn't have that storage unit. And forget about money for a minute. This, I would be able to breathe without it. But for some reason, I just can't go over there and do the work. It's gonna be it's physical. And honestly, I'm ready to get rid of it. I've been talking myself through this for a good year, honestly, especially when they went from $83 to $138. I was mad, but I didn't do anything. Now, recently, let me tell you what happened last week. So I decided that I had a few things. My son decided to bring some things to me, that needed to go in the storage unit. So I had a few things sitting around that I needed to get into my vehicle and get over there. And it has taken me 3 months to do that. I'm being honest. So I finally get it into my car and decide I'm going to go to work today. And on my way home from work, I'm going to stop by the unit. It shouldn't take me longer than 30 minutes to deal with this. was so happy. I finally decided, yes, today is the day. I'm going to get this stuff out of my apartment and get it over there. I put the seats down in my Jeep. It took me 2 trips because I just have this really cute small dolly that I use. And it took me 2 trips. It was maybe 4 boxes. It wasn't that much, and a bag of clothes. So I thought, okay, let me get this stuff over there. And I do all this. I go to work. I drive it to work. I get to work. I work all day. I come home. I get in the car. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the storage unit. I'm going straight there. I'm going to get myself something to eat. It's going to be a great day. Yay. I'm so happy. And then when I'm over there, I might bring some boxes out, get them back in my Jeep, and then bring them home and then work through them. And then it's going to be a good day. And I get there and the elevator is broken. I was so angry. And when I tell you, mad, and couldn't do anything. Couldn't yell at anybody because it was empty. There was not a person in that building. It's a brand new unit over there. There's nothing scary about it. It's a brand new unit. And I go out, I'm looking for signs, a note, something on the door. I see nothing, absolutely nothing. So then I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna drive around to the office. Office door closed. I mean, it's always locked up, to be honest. I don't think I've ever talked to a person except when I was trying to rent the unit. That was it. But it was all locked up and closed and lights off and everything. And I just started calling numbers to the office and got nothing. Didn't even get a recording I could leave a message. Did they close down? I mean, what's going on? So I see cars moving around. So no, they haven't closed down. Just not available. I was so angry. I thought, okay, Margot, just deal with it. Go on home, come back tomorrow. Why did I think tomorrow the elevator was going to be working? So I do the whole thing again tomorrow, the next day. Get there, and there's people around this time. Folks were sitting in a car next to me, sitting in another car. There's dogs outside, and they're just milling around. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can get some information. So I go in there, and the lady was like, oh, I know this one is down, but there's another one in the back. I was like, what? This whole time? So I just grabbed my little cart, and I got my stuff all over the cart, and I'm going. And that elevator is broken too, okay? And she just kept pushing the button and leaning, pushing the button and looking at it. It don't work, lady. I was so upset. So then here comes this guy around with all these muscles, and he's like, oh, there's a back staircase in the back. I'm just going to use that. I'm going to use the staircase. I'm not using that staircase for all this stuff. So at this point, I was just like, man, I was so mad. I just started calling numbers. I am not one. I'm a retail manager. I don't call stores. I don't call corporate. I don't do any of those things. But I did this time because I was furious. So I call and I get a bot. And the bot was friendly and said, if you need to speak with someone, I can let you speak with someone. And I said, okay, bot, let me speak with someone. I couldn't speak with a person, but the bot sent me to a chat that allowed me to chat with a person. So I asked the person, hey, can you let me talk to somebody? Like, what is going on with this? I'm going to want compensation because at this point, I've been back and forth and nothing is happening. I can't talk to anybody. There is not one sign posted about this elevator being down. Not one sign. We don't even know when it went down, when it came back up, except for the people that I'm with saying it has been down for a month. Okay? So the person on the chat was said, I'll have someone call you. Okay, so I waited 2 days. Excuse me. Someone did call me. She was very nice and apologetic and said, I'm going to have the district manager call you. District manager waited 3 or 4 more days and finally called me, and he was the biggest jerk ever. I was like, just a minute, sir. What you don't know about me, and this is me thinking, I didn't say it out loud because I don't like to, expose all of my cards. I said in my mind, I'm a manager too. You're talking to a manager. So you cannot finesse me with any of these words. And I did not let him finesse me. I went back and forth with him to let him know who he was dealing with without telling him who he was dealing with. So then And the end of it, I said, I would like some compensation for this, because at this point, I can't go back to that unit this week because I am quite busy and I won't have an opportunity. So it has really put me out a little bit, with going back and forth. He goes, oh, well, I think that 2 days will be good. 2 days worth of compensation will be good. Elevators break all the time. I said, you're right, they do. I work in a building with elevators and they break. And what we do is we leave notes so that our customers and our patrons will know that it's broken and exactly when it's going to be repaired. But you didn't do any of that. You did absolutely nothing. And it sounds like to me, from wherever you're sitting, you're still not going to do anything, because several times that I've been there, nobody has been in that office to do anything. He says, well, I'm sorry about that, man, but we are in between people. We've had turnover. I said, that's when you step in. Whew, got that off my chest, but guess what? Those boxes are still in my Jeep. But anyway, I digress. And let's go back to the original point that I was trying to make. The stuff in the storage unit no longer holds its value, but it has served me well, and it's time to get rid of it. We'll talk soon, dolls. Bye.